Welcome to React, where we unpack Reddit stories from youth for youth. I'm your host, Sofia.
And I'm Delvin.
In this video, we'll be discussing a very juicy subject of girls making their first moves on their crushes.
Now, but before we start, we would sincerely appreciate it if you could give us your support by hitting the notification bell and the subscribe button. Your affirmation would go a really long way in helping us produce more discussions like this for our community. Alright, so Sophia, for our story today, we have OP who is currently in JC and has been crushing on a boy for a few months. They follow each other on Instagram because they are in the same group for a class, but they've never actually talked before. He thinks it's a sign that she's been seeing him around school and delusionally thinks that, oh, he wants me just cause like he smiles at her, looks at her. But the thing is, he just got out of like a 5-month relationship, just one relationship, which is why she delayed doing anything. But now she's wondering if she should say something to the guy cause like she likes him. What do you think about this, Sophia, being a female? What do you think?
Female. I think that I totally understand her view because as someone who like doesn't really take like the first initiative in relationships, who has never had a relationship in the first place, so like I understand her indecisiveness in like really jumping into a relationship. What about you?
For me, I'm on the other spectrum because I'm like, girl, if you like a guy, just go for it. The guy is probably as nervous as you are. The guy, if y'all follow each other on Instagram and if you think he smiles and looks at you, those are signs that the guy likes you already. So just go for it, honey. Be the best person you can. Approach the guy. Yeah, don't be indecisive because like you're still at a young age. Like the OP's in JC, right? They're still at a young age where they can afford to make mistakes. If there are mistakes to be made, hopefully not. Have a nice life. But yeah, you can afford to make mistakes. So yeah, I think that's what the OP should do, and that's the advice I would give them.
That's true. I think like we have like two different sorts of views, right? On the opposite end of the spectrum. Maybe she can like see a middle ground.
Most definitely. I mean,
right?
we are both not psychologists, psychiatrists.
Yeah.
We just these are from our personal experiences. So yeah, find the middle line in between them, guys, when you're watching this. So what do you think, Sophia, about girls who make the first move? Because I suggested, right, the girl making the first move because the guy isn't. What do you think about that?
I think that like it's very respectable. As a girl myself, I'm like, girl, oh my god, really, it takes a lot like in yourself to really go up to a person and like confess, right? Like, yeah, so I really respect her. She's like super girl boss for that.
Comment below what your thoughts on the impact of gender roles in the dating scene are. What is something you wish was expected differently for your gender?
But also at the same time, like I think it's just like our traditional like norms and like societal like how to say
Expectations in a way,
yeah, of like how we expect the guys to like come confess to us first or ask us out first.
Right.
So that's why we kind of take the step back and like wait, which like I think that's why I think like for her to like not be so how to say for her to not be so cautious on like people's perception. Like, actually she is right now.
Right.
But I mean like if she were to not be cautious
Right.
of like people's perceptions of her taking the first step, making the first move, I think that's really respectable of her. Like she's going against what's being normal in society lah, you know.
I mean, I can understand where you're coming from, and honestly it makes sense because being a JC student you wouldn't really like put yourself out there due to like fear of peer judgment.
Yeah.
And all that, and it's honestly like a very fine line of like putting yourself out there because you want the guy and also like being afraid of social judgment and all that. So I totally get where the OP is coming from, but I mean the whole thing about like gender being a factor, that I don't agree with because
agree.
it's cliche, yes, I know, but it's 2023, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
honestly,
the 30th century, the 21st
it
century.
really doesn't matter if the guy proposes or the girl initiates, because at the end of the day, it's a relationship. Both parties must take part. Yes, yeah, I know.
To tango.
Yeah, but
Yes.
no, like honestly, it doesn't really matter because like yeah, at the end of the day, y'all are both in it together. So yeah,
So, our combined advice for her?
I would say think about it, girl. Do what's best for you.
I think, like, girl, if you have best friends, why are you not confiding in them? Like, I think they can give you all the confidence you need for your delusion. Like, is it even delusion at that point, you know?
Like you say delusion, right? I think there's a sort of beauty in the delusion though, because for me it's like that sort of blind confidence that you get from delusion. It sort of like bolsters your spirit.
Yeah, it's like you know when you're drunk, that kind. What's that called? Drunk confidence. Something like that.
I'm not following you here, but yeah, sure. Yeah, but that whole thing of like delusion feeding your confidence in that sort of way, I think in that sense delusion is good, but also you are not gonna marry Chris Hemsworth. Like that's just incredible delusion. So yeah, like delusion in a sense, to a certain extent, I feel like that's good. That's all for today's discussion.
If you like what you've watched and wish to see more of such content, please kindly let us know by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to catch us on our next video on the Redefine channel. Bye!